So my whole take on the Nas and Briscoe matchup. See, this is my thing. When I play somebody one-on-one, especially when I think I'm going to beat them or I know I can beat them, whatever calls they may call during us playing one-on-one, I'm going to give them the call. Why? Specifically because when I win, I don't want to hear nothing. So when it comes down to Nas and the Briscoe matchup about how, you know, Briscoe was trying to tell the fans to chill or hold on for a second and Nas poked the ball out, then to me, I'm like, I'm only going to not let Briscoe get the ball back in that moment if I felt like I was going to lose that game. And I'm like, I wanted, if Nas was going to win that game, I would want him to win it on like a clean play to where it was be no question. And he had moments to where he should have ended the game already because he had him up. He had him up for a while. So, and Nas was fouling Briscoe. Nas, you were fouling Briscoe. Briscoe, you were also fouling Nas. One of the new narratives that's coming to the light about the 1v1 space is that there is a lot of fouling. So I just wish that the game would have finished because that's what we paid for. We paid to see a duration of a match be fulfilled. This is the second time we've seen a match not fulfilled during a pay-per-view. It happened with Nesco and Ty, the first match. Now it happened with Briscoe and Nas on the main event. So Ball is Life and Off the Dribble do have some kinks they need to work out as far as logistics and making sure things like this don't happen because, you don't want that to be what we just expecting now because then we just going to stop paying and then we just going to be waiting for the free highlights. So as far as the Briscoe and Nas situation, I just wish that the game would have ended on a clean play. Stop allowing people to pay to be on the floor. It is never going to end well. When you have that many black people in an aggressive state of mind as far as sports is concerned, money on the line, and then you have them in the mix, it doesn't mix with logistically for the event to go as planned. This is what you do when you shoot basketball content outside at those parks, at those courts, where you can't tell nobody to back up because it's public. It's a public space. People gathering in or closing in on the 1v1 that's happening. That's what you do outside when no one paid to come see it. So, but nonetheless, the event happened. We got what we wanted to see. I felt like, so JQ is one of my favorite college players of all time. He's just one of my favorites. I didn't expect him to look like that when he came in. I thought that he was going to look a little better than that, but granted, he is coming off of a break, and this is his first introduction back into a competitive state of basketball play. So I do commend him for stepping in and coming into the space because, it did get a lot of people going, and a lot of people probably wanted to see him win. I thought he was going to win if he came in the caliber that I thought. I thought he did his homework because of how he was talking. I underestimated Lamar in that matchup, and I shouldn't have because now Lamar is looking like that right now. He's looking like he really can't be beat if he keeps going in the direction he's going in. But yeah, I was a little disappointed at how JQ looked. But I think the most competitive 1v1 that we saw was between Scoob, Nitty, and Briscoe and Nas. Like I said, I didn't watch the Akil and Dom. I haven't gotten to it yet. I'll watch it. Zay and Bruce was, it's just like, I don't want to see Zay play Bruce. Like, y'all couldn't find nobody else to play Zay. I would have rather seen Zay play, I don't know, but I didn't want to see him play Bruce, so I wasn't that interested into that when I knew Zay was going to win. Versus Scoob, that one was good, but the last pay-per-view before this one was definitely better. We need to get some new people in the space and this is another thing, like, we're Marquise Teagues touched on it on his recap. He was saying now that the baller's life spaces, they're going to keep trying to take it too far as saying guys can beat this guy and guys can beat that guy. And it's just like when we're talking about, oh, the 1v1 guys can beat an NBA player. No, where it's when you say that a 1v1 player can beat an NBA guy on a current roster. That's what the debate is. It's not can a 1v1 player who's playing 1v1 full time beat an ex NBA player who isn't in the NBA anymore, who's been retired and been chilling and just still feels he's good enough to just come hoop in the 1v1 because he made it to the NBA and he feels like certain skills have not expired in their repertoire as a basketball player. Now, if someone on a current NBA roster right now, I'm talking about a player who is not going back and forth from the roster to the G League. I'm talking about a roster solidified guy, whether he starts or not. If one of those guys steps out of the NBA space and comes into the 1v1 space and loses to a 1v1 full-time employee, then that's the different conversation. Then that's different. Then we can pop it as a baller's life off the dribble, the next chapter. Then we can pop it on that level as far as these entities. But until a current player on the NBA team comes into the 1v1 space and loses, then we need to stop saying who is the NBA guy that can get beat, who can know. Because we got Ty Lawson. He looked like he could have beat or was going to beat Nesco the first go round. He was in shape. He was ready. He didn't have turf toe. No one's talking about the fact that he had turf toe, but it's not an excuse. You still lost 30-1, which is unacceptable. Losing 30-1 is unacceptable. It does not matter. They should have never agreed to a rematch. So it's just like, I still do believe that a current NBA player on any team, on any roster, I say you can take a guy off the Charlotte Hornets, which is my second favorite NBA team, hometown, North Carolina. You already know what it is. Take anybody on the Charlotte Hornets team on a current roster player and take them into the 1v1 space, one-on-one, they're going to beat every no-one, ballless life, off the dribble, the next chapter employee. They're going to lose, period. And I believe that. And the only person I would put up against a current roster NBA player to play 1v1, the only player I would put up against them is Rob Cologne, also from North Carolina, because he's the only one in the 1v1 space, all platforms combined, that can shoot the ball effortlessly beyond NBA range, half court range. He's the only one that stands a chance because of his shooting ability. And I still would say that he was going to lose the game because a current NBA player on a roster right now is just different with the ball. And everyone who's a real basketball fan, fanatic, connoisseur, student of the game understands that. So, but shout out to Baller's Life. Shout out to the next chapter. Shout out to Off the Dribble for creating these spaces to where now attention is officially on it. I just think that y'all have to get some better guys to recruit. I wouldn't even say better guys. Just let's keep doing good with recruiting new guys to come into this space because it's definitely something to watch. I'm entertained. I'm a fan. I support all channels. I'm $45 in subscription wise for a pay-per-view. So we'll see what they can pull out their sleeve for the next matchup.